Okay, so water acidified with sulfuric acid is decomposed. The water is decomposed to produce hydrogen and oxygen. A sample of hydrogen is isolated with air in the United States. What would happen? So here we can say that the hydrogen would burn with a squeaky pop. Throughout the experiment, they're measuring the volume of oxygen and hydrogen. We can see that information in the table. And let's just do some observations. So as we go down through the time, the amount of hydrogen and the amount of oxygen increases. And the other thing that's worth noting is if you compare the amounts going across this way, then the amount of hydrogen is always, if we just pick another one out here, is always double the amount. So in order to get the 2 marks in this question, what we need to say is that both gases increase in volume during the experiment. The volume of hydrogen produced is twice as much as the oxygen. And you're going to get 1 mark for each of those 2 statements. Okay, molten lead is electrolyzed. What are the products? So because it's molten and it's just lead bromide, we would just separate those 2 out into lead, and then the other element that you'll get is bromine. So we're looking for lead and bromine, which is option C. Calcium nitrate and calcium carbonate are both ionic. They're mixed with water. One behaves as an electrolyte. Remember, that means that the ions are loose because the lattice has been broken. And because its ions are loose, that means that this has dissolved. This has dissolved in the solution. Calcium carbonate does not behave, so that has not dissolved. Explains in terms of solubility why this difference in behavior. So if I'm doing this question, what I'm going to say here is that the calcium nitrate is soluble. We know that from what it says. We can say its ions become loose and are able to move, so it will conduct electricity, and that means it's behaving as an electrolyte. Molten zinc chloride is electrolyzed. Zinc ions are formed from zinc atoms. Write the equation. Okay, write the equation. So I've got zinc ions, and they have to form zinc atoms. So how do I get from this positive charge to this? What I'm going to do here is we are going to add 2 electrons that way, and that's going to get us the marks for that particular question.